Hey A&Pers, this is Dr. Jones checking in. This is A&P1 lecture test 3 video 3. That's it. All right, so the diaphysis is the shaft of the long bone. So from here to here, the diaphysis. PHY is like F in physics, F, like a F-I, F sound. So the diaphysis is the shaft. Each long bone has one. And we are talking about long bone structures here. The epiphysis, one epiphysis and two epiphyses. So just like you have a pair of parentheses, one is a parenthesis. One parenthesis, two parentheses. So each bone has one diaphysis and two epiphyses. And the epiphyses are the ends. They are the articular surfaces. The articular surfaces, articulation is a joint. So these are your joint surfaces, the articular surfaces. And in between the epiphysis and the diaphysis, we need a different color here. I'm feeling green. Yeah, green, like Christmas. Metaphysis. So the metaphysis, that got messy. I got real messy. Is the location of the growth plate. And the growth plates are how a kid gets taller overnight. Overnight. And they're called the epiphyseal plates. So are the epiphyseal plates in the epiphyses? Oh, heck no. That wouldn't make sense. That would make our lives easier. Clearly not. So the epiphyseal plates are in the metaphyses. Why are they not called metaphyseal plates? They're in the metaphyses. But no, the epiphyseal plates. So in a kid, the epiphyseal plates grow further apart, but the epiphyseal plates, the growth plates themselves, they're a little band of hyaline cartilage, which we'll discuss in a minute. And they stay the same width, they just get further apart. Until the kid hits puberty, puberty causes those plates to narrow, and then once they touch, then the kid no longer gets taller. So that's how growth plates work. And they're where? In the metaphyses, because that makes sense. Okay, so there are different types of bone. As you can see here, there's compact bone on the edges and then spongy bones on the ends. So let's write that down. There we go. Nope, that did not work. If you swoop over it just right, it makes the little thing go away. Okay, so the compact bone is the dense bone. It's the solid outer layer of the bone. The solid superficial layer. The medullary cavity is also called the marrow cavity. Medullary cavity and marrow cavity are the same thing, slightly different words for the same thing. And there are two kinds of marrow, as we mentioned in the first video: red marrow for red and white blood cell production, and yellow marrow for fat storage. And spongy bone is found in the epiphyses. So you can see here, and it's an open network of struts in plates and plates in the epiphyses. So it's like along the stress lines and then cross-braced. It's like scaffolding. It's like scaffolding that you would build to, I'm going to try to draw a box now. There you go. It's scaffolding that you would build to make a sturdy platform for if you were working on the outside of a building, needed to climb things. Okay. And the matrix is dense. Do I have this? Oh, cortex. I was supposed to say this first. The cortex is the cortical bone in compact bone in a flat bone. It's called cortex in a flat bone. So it's a thin layer of superficial compact bone and also surrounding the epiphyses. So this outer layer right here is also called cortex. It's a thin outer layer, and it's not nearly as thick as this really thick compact bone. So. Okay, and then a few things that I want to say as review. Here are the bullets. The matrix is dense and contains calcium salts, which we discussed in the previous testing material. That has osteocytes in lacunae. Second bullet, osteocytes in lacunae, which we've discussed. It has third bullet, penultimate bullet, the canaliculi exchange nutrients, wastes, and gases. Gases specifically being oxygen and carbon dioxide, and which we discussed. And the fourth bullet, it's covered in periosteum, which we've discussed. So 4 bullets of bone review. The bone matrix is about 2/3, fill in the blank here, calcium phosphate, which reacts with calcium hydroxide to form inorganic crystals. Inorganic crystals of hydroxyapatite, which does not fit on the line, I apologize. Also incorporated are calcium salts and other ions, such as sodium, magnesium, and fluoride. The other 1/3 of bone matrix is organic. So the minerals are inorganic crystals of calcium and hydroxy to make hydroxyapatite. The proteins are organic. It's 1/3 of the bone matrix is organic protein, collagen. So the cells make the collagen. The cells don't make the calcium. You eat the calcium. Okay. Collagen fibers, which are made by the cells make up about 2% of the bone mass. You may recall that the epithelia were cellular tissues, is mostly just cells. Connective tissues, like bone, for instance, or bone is about 2% cells and about 98% extracellular stuff. Yeah. And the calcium crystals can handle compression. They can withstand compression, but not bending, twisting, or sudden impacts. Not bending, twisting, or sudden impacts. So this desk that I'm on, I can pound on this desk, I can punch the desk, I can sit on the desk. The desk withstands compression. I try to compress it, friggin' nothing happens. It withstands compression. It resists compression. What about my Noteset? Is my Noteset going to withstand compression? Not even a little bit. Like flump. Flump. Does not withstand compression. Okay? So the organic collagen fibers made by the cells can withstand twisting, right? They can twist without breaking. Can you twist the desk without breaking it? If you manage to twist the desk, you have broken the desk. But they cannot withstand compression. They cannot resist compression. They're like wet noodles. You can bend them and flex them around, but they squish. Okay. So this was fun. Video, I've lost track. A&P 1, lecture test 3, video 4, no, video 3, and we did page 4. That's what's throwing me off. Chapter 6, bone matrix? Yeah, bone matrix. Got it. All right. The education must go on. Dr. J out.